Well, Friday night's fast approaching, and that means it's time for the Thursday football preview. Jeremy Babin and Jeremy Rao have the latest from Southeast High School next in sports.
I'm sitting in
football preview.
WDNN in Cleveland is seen on Charter Cable Channel 5.
Joaquin, where are you?
Whoa. Dude, what are you doing, man? You're waking all the dogs next door.
Well, it's almost Football Friday. There's so much work to do to get ready for all the big games here in this state. I'm waiting for my partner to get here. I don't know where he is.
I'm sorry to tell you. Is it Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joaquin's not going to be available.
Not going to be available?
No.
Oh my God. Thanks, that was nice of him to tell me that. Well, do you know anyone that knows anything about football here in this state?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Welcome to Week 3's Thursday football preview. I'm Jeremy Babin, and I'd like to introduce to you the newest member of the WDNN sports team, Jeremy Rao.
Thanks so much, and I'm so glad to be here, and I really can't tell you how excited I am for tomorrow night's Friday Night Football Frenzy.
And it's an exciting time of the week, but here at Southeast High School, the mood was anything but thrilling, as last Friday night the Raiders lost on a kickoff return as time expired.
Yeah, but the Raiders' sole focus this week is really going to be on a tough physical matchup they face against a good Sonoraville team.
Sonoraville's got a much improved football team. They're very physical. They got some good big linemen up front, and they're going to come off the ball and hit us right in the mouth. We've been working hard to get ready to stop their option attack and to attack their 50 defense. And like I said, they're a physical football team. Not going to try to trick us. They're going to come up here and play good, solid, fundamental football. So this week we're working on correcting our mistakes from last week, stopping their option game, and getting ready for their 50 defense.
Obviously, Southeast is one that's near us, and you know, it's one that our guys like to play good in. We've had a pretty good start to the season, much unlike the last two seasons, and so hopefully it's a ball game we want to be able to get in there and play well and try to take care of ourselves and see how well we can put something together, and then let the scoreboard take care of itself. You know, Southeast is definitely a bigger school. Southeast been around a lot longer. Southeast probably got some, a lot better athlete in a certain positions out there, but hopefully we can get in there and try to compete with them a little bit.
And that defense has been effective thus far for Sonoraville, who's already topped last year's win total.
Yeah, and another local team that'll be challenged physically is Ringgold, who will really need to improve after that 21-point loss to Murphy last week.
Tigers head coach Robert Atkins describes the style of football his team will see tomorrow night.
You know, they're very dangerous. They can come at you from a lot of different directions, and we know that defensively, we got to get better from last week. We didn't do a great job defensively last week, so we know that it's going to take a lot to stop those guys, and we have to play, good, sound, solid defense.
Speaking of good defense, Dalton's coming off a 20-point victory last week where their first-team defense didn't surrender a single point.
Yeah, but tomorrow the Catamounts will face another good defensive team in South Spalding, who hasn't given up an offensive touchdown all season.
I'd say South Spalding is a very, very fine football team. We didn't really know much about them, and I know they don't know much about us. They're a new school, they're new in our region, so we're kind of new to one another. But we watched the film on Saturday since we got it and flipped it on. It was obvious that they're for real. They're a very good football team. They're very, very well coached. They play extremely hard. They're going to play whistle to whistle. They're going to play nasty and run to the football. They're very athletic on defense. Their linebackers and secondary are as quick as anybody we've played. And up front, they're very, very physical. They have an end and a three technique that are as good of defensive linemen as we've seen all year, and we've probably seen it in a while. And they have not given up a point all year on defense. I think the only points they give up are 2 interception return for a touchdown. So they've had 2 shutouts on defense in a row to start the year. Very, very talented on defense and very, very good, well coached on offense. Again, the line of scrimmage is very physical. They get after you. They're well disciplined. They have a running back that I would compare to a Wark Dunn. He runs very, very well, can catch the ball in the backfield, blocks, his electric moves, it's quick. They have a quarterback they can throw. They play 2 quarterbacks, but they have one quarterback that's probably more of a passer, and he's a really good thrower. And they have kids on the outside that can run and catch the ball. They just have a lot of great linemen, good athletes, and they're well coached, and I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen of South Spalding.
The team that Dalton beat last week was Sprayberry, and tomorrow night they'll head to Northwest to face the Bruins.
And Northwest head coach Mike Valeur says the key to winning is to stop the Yellow Jackets from making big plays.
Sprayberry is a very athletic football team that has 2 great players on offense, and we've got to
Defensively, we've got to be in position and break down and make good tackles. The quarterback's is a skilled kid as we're going to play all year. The running back's a very physical, hard runner. So our kids have to be where they're supposed to be, break down and be disciplined, and take care of those two guys first, and then you can't forget about everybody else.
Another team from Region 7A 4A kicking off tomorrow night is Maury County, who's coming off a 36-0 loss to Osborne.
Yeah, and the Indians return home to play Lafayette, who reminds them of a team they're all too familiar with.
Lafayette's a team much like ourselves. They're a team that struggled the past few years, and they're 1-1 on the season. They've got some really talented players. They've got a new coach that's moved in and brought several players with him, with some of the assistants having sons and so forth. And you know, they're a solid football team. We're looking forward to a very competitive game this Friday.
Well, that'll do it for this week's Thursday football preview.
Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night at 11 o'clock for highlights from all of these games, as well as scores from many others throughout Northwest Georgia. Now let's send it back to BOFTA at the news desk.
Thanks, Jeremy. And Jeremy, of course, tune in